Hey everybody, I am back. Due to a unique confluence of events, Sean was borrowing my car to take care of some work-related matters, so he's dropped me off here at Milby Park, and I'm going to play a solo round here. I'm actually going to play a little bit of a casual round, probably multiple throws off different points, just to kind of get a feel for how I'm throwing. And basically this video will go on until Sean picks me up. So I'm not likely to get all 21 holes, but I have no idea how long this will take. This video is just going to be as long as it needs to be. With that said, me and my Zuka cart are fully loaded. Let me figure out what discs I'm going to throw off this tee. I think I'm just going to go with my standard leopard setup here. Just kind of see what I can do. I should be throwing forehand because I don't want it to fade too aggressively into there, but just gonna kind of play this by ear. Some light throws. I'm gonna do standstill for a little bit. I may do this first one standstill, and if that's successful I may try a run up. It's kind of what I wanted to do, but that kind of, I really should have used my Leopard 3 for that kind of throw. So I'm just gonna do another standstill because I'm a little scared of that brush. Maybe I can. That is a lot closer to what I wanted. Let's go see what I've got. All right, so I'm not really even halfway. I'm maybe barely halfway. No, I'd say I'm about 45% of the way from that tee pad to that basket over there. So I think I'm going to throw a couple shots. Again, the two leopards, just kind of get a feel for what I'm doing. This isn't going to be a scored round like a normal scored round, but I just want to kind of see what I can do here. I'm turning that. I need to figure out, which I'll look at on camera to see what's causing that. Let me try the same thing here. There we go, that's what I wanted. It flipped up, came back around. Okay, that second one's a better throw, which this is now the second time in a row the second throw has been the better throw. So as y'all know, I really love this leopard. It's my primary driver, my favorite disc. So, but even I can recognize it's becoming a little bit more flippy than I need a leopard to be. So that's really why this Leopard 3 is in the bag. All right, I've got a couple of putters here, my AVR X3 and my stud. I'm going to try to curve around to that basket, see if I can get one of them kind of close. Again, I'm just learning here. I'm trying to learn this non-rounding kind of thing. So let's see, that's about 65 feet away. That was kind of a weird hyzer, but okay, I'll allow it. Let's see if I can maybe push it just a little bit more, not as high. I think that was a good correction. I think I've got a good putt. All right, and as they say, player B tends to do better than player A, and I guess I can't argue with that. The second one was better and closer. Let's see, got my R Pro AVR, my Star Animal. Let's kind of see. Man, I haven't putted in a while. Wow, another practice putt. Wow, okay. Just so y'all know, I was gonna spend the last 2 weeks of my vacation in December to practice putting. Didn't do it once. And really, I needed the time off anyways to kind of relax and enjoy the game. So I've really just been playing the game and not doing any practicing or anything like that, except for the recent change in where I'm trying to learn how to throw better. So as y'all can tell, I'm doing standstill, and I'm trying to avoid rounding, which if you watched any of my previous throwing videos, you'll see what I'm doing. I'm going to disc up a tiny bit to the FD. I'm going to use the Leopard 3 in the FD to minimize the chance of turning like the Star Leopard is doing. Let's just see what I can do. Basket's way down that way and kind of around the corner. I'm not really sure how well this is going to be seen. Okay, that's going to be on the edge of the fairway. I'm going to have to really push this a bit. I'm kind of afraid to do the cross step right now. I really goosed that. All right, well, let's see what I've got. All right, I got a little lucky here, but I can't tell if you can see this on the camera. The viewfinder's too small. But this is not gonna be an easy shot. I'm gonna have to kind of pull it around. So I've got my Aviar X3 and my pig, and I'm gonna see what I can do to kind of get close, which I'm a little skeptical, to be honest. Let's do one at a time. Let's not distract ourselves holding both discs. I think I'm gonna throw it kind of that way. Oh, I hit something. Yeah, it robbed it of some of its speed and momentum. Let's throw it out a tiny bit more. There we go. That's more what I wanted. Hope I'm not blocking the shot. I can't tell. I think that one's closer though. You know, that's one of the things I learned in that recent round at Spring Valley on the front nine. I'm having too much of a problem where when I'm throwing, I'm going for too direct of the route. And so what it does is it hits branches or trees or bushes or whatever. And what I need to do is throw out a little bit more to reduce that risk profile. So anyways, that's something you got to remember to do when you're playing, is eliminate the risk and don't throw too close to something if you don't have to. And all right, this is again one of those holes where I'm going to disc up a tiny bit and not get something that turns too much, because I need to throw past this fence and off that way. And the two discs that I have that best meet my particular ability at this time is my FD and TL. So I'm going to move the camera forward. All right, let's try this again. And I need to not do that as much. I'm not saying this is necessarily bad, but I want to try to minimize that. So, oh, I threw that too little power. I mean, it got around the corner and that's great, and I definitely don't want to go too high. But man, I just kind of fluffed that a little bit. I mean, I'm not trying to overarm this stuff. Another thing I need to do is not do this, I need to do more of that. So less this, more that. There we go. That's a lot closer to what I wanted in terms of power and flight path. Let's go see what we got. So yeah, this TL I think was about 40 feet farther than the FD. Though the FD was completely unblocked, this tree is slightly in my way. And what I'm going to do is try a couple different throws. I'm going to try a hyzer around with my backhand, and I'm tempted to go sidearm with this. You know, because I'm here to learn, here to also have fun. So again, I'm not going to throw it too close to this tree. I want to throw it out a little bit and let it come down. So I'm going to try to aim a little bit that way and up a tiny bit. This is my Pro Pig, our Pro Pig. It's not a signature, whatever, it's just a standard R Pro plastic pig. Oh, I pulled that out too wide. Look at that. That's a good 20-footer. Okay, so can try to correct on that or do a sidearm. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to try to correct off that with my Aviar X3, and these two will count. I'll go ahead and score this. This will be a best throw round. Let's see if I can correct a little bit. Not out as far, Nick. Ah, too much. Two inside. Crap! I wanted so much to curve around. Now I don't have an overstable approach disc that I can get that angle. The closest I can do is a rock. So now we're in pure experimentation territory. I'm just going to see if I can nail that release point and pretend this is an overstable putter. Out too wide. Alrighty, I've learned my lesson. I can't do the shot yet, but I'm learning. So yeah, I'll admit it, I'm a little disappointed that I wasn't able to capitalize on that learning experience. So I'm going to have to spend more time throwing. One thing you got to realize is even when I'm doing my approaches, I'm trying not to do my approaches like I often do, which is really high and like this. I'm trying to do a little bit lower and like this. So anyways, I'm learning. This is an incremental process. There we go. Let's see if I can do that a second time. I can, okay, that's not bad. So my apologies if there's been a smudge on the screen. I noticed it earlier, forgot to remove it, so I just remembered to remove it. And so hopefully that's gone there. All right, so this one is a tough one to throw because you have to get through one or two of these lines. This would be great for a lefty, you know, backhand, or righty sidearm, or the other way around and have it curve around. I don't have the distance to do either, even on my best day. So I'm just gonna try to get a little more than halfway. Again, let's try to slide hyzer this. I think I may have hyzered that too much. That said, it is out there. Let's try to slighten that hyzer a little bit, so a little bit less, a little bit more flat with this Champion Leopard 3 as opposed to my beat-in Star Leopard 3. Flatter. I was off balance, so I mean, I like that line. I'm not going to complain about that, but I don't like that I fell back like that, regardless. And the thing to realize about this flippy Leopard, you know, I've had it nearly 2 years, and I've used it probably more than most of my drivers combined. With the right amount of hyzer, it was still pretty relatively stable. So this is why I still love bagging this and why I tend to use it for flat shots when possible, because it doesn't fade hard at all. All right, I've got my Star Animal, my Champion Luster Invader. And I'm gonna try to do a couple approaches. That's approximately 100 feet away. That was actually really good. That's under the basket, or probably 3 feet from the pole. Here's my Invader. This is even flatter than the Animal, and so I think this is even better for the forehand. And this is why I think the Invader is a very underrated disc. Yeah, I like it. Anyways, I'm really glad I've got this, and this is why I've added it to the bag. Now hopefully I can throw it correctly. I didn't quite put enough on it, but you know what? It pushed enough, and it's close to the basket as well. Yeah, this is only 6 feet from the pole, which is great. It's what I got this disc for. And this is even closer, as I said, about 3 feet. And I like both of these approach discs, and I'm glad I could use them both today. And if you wonder why I'm using the Leopard and Leopard 3 so much, because I'm starting from a lower level of throwing. I can't throw that far, maybe over 200 feet, barely. And so these are just a little bit farther in terms of what I can do in terms of distance than a mid-range, so that's why I'm focusing on these. This shot, in my opinion, is actually a righty sidearm or a lefty backhand, whatever. I can't think straight. Anyways, these have 1.6 centimeter rims, which make them essentially kind of, they're at the very entry level of fairway drivers. Let's see how close I can get. That was good. See, I can see how maybe a Shark 3 or a Lion would have been better for that. Let me try a little flatter release, a little bit less flat hyzer. Box drill. I pulled it just a tiny bit. Anyways, both good shots. All right, so this Leopard 3 was about 5 feet shy, but 10 feet in that direction. So not a bad throw at all. I'm actually very happy with it. But this Leopard 3 was better. Me cutting a little closer with this disc was a better idea. And maybe in hindsight, if I would have tried it with the Leopard 3, with the original Star Leopard, it would have coasted over that way. That said, I'm certainly not complaining. I actually love that I did that. This tree and the branches are slightly blocking me, but I'm going to put my foot here within the 8.5, 11 sheet of paper, but off to the right. And I'm going to see if I can get one of these in. That was too much anhyzer with my throw. One of the things I wanted to work on during my vacation, but didn't, because I didn't work on anything during the vacation. There we go. That's a little bit more of what I wanted. Okay. I'm happy with both attempts to get me within tapping distance of the basket. So yeah, this is an easy putt towards the basket, maybe 10, 12 feet. And this was even less. This is like maybe 6 feet. So this is probably twice as close. All right, we've looped around back to hole 6. So in theory, someone could park, play the first 5 holes and leave in probably less than 30 minutes. If they bring a small bag or maybe 3 discs or something, they could probably complete that pretty quick. I've got my Champion Leopard 3 again and my S-Line FD, and I'm gonna see what I can do. How's it going? Okay, let's see. A box drill. I'm not sure that that was good. And man, that was pretty stable, so I think I didn't do that right. So let's try this again. Let's maybe stagger my step a little bit. Maybe I've been forgetting to do that. It allows me to get more elbow up. That was kind of weird, but it still got the same result. All right, so I think me committing more on this and even maybe using the follow through to some extent, even though it wasn't a great follow through, gave this more distance. This is about 30 feet more advanced than the other one. So let's go ahead and try the Animal and Invaders, see what I can do. I didn't give that enough. Wow, okay, that's fine. It's all part of the learning experience. So I need to remember, these can take a little more. These are putters, not mid-ranges. Oh man, I shanked that. That was due to rounding. So it's very instructive. Normally I use a mid-range, but I really wanted to try to use those putters and I undercooked them, or the first one. I've got a group behind me, so I'm gonna have to play through real quick. This is an ant bed, so I'm gonna go ahead and move this to like right here. I'm gonna move it parallel because I'm not gonna get ants for a video for integrity or whatever. I'm not necessarily counting either of these to make it anyways, but I gotta get my Invader there too before I leave. Okay. Both of them to the right. All right, you can't really see it, but these are both right here. So these are both going in. I've got a bogey, now I gotta get out of the way. And wouldn't you know it, I hurried for no reason. The duo that was behind me, I guess they turned back around and they're doing that loop again, or maybe they just had to leave. So it's a lesson to myself to not let people that are behind me hurry me and force me to rush. That's something I just need to learn. You know, I'm an introvert, and so that happens to me easier than maybe other people that aren't introverts. I don't know. All right, Leopard 3, FD, we're gonna do the same. Box drill. Oh, too low. And you know what? I know now it's because I'm raising it up too high here, and so the natural flow of the disc is downward. So that's what happens when you review video. You get to see what you're doing wrong and learn. Okay. All right, I may have inadvertently rounded when I did that throw. I'll have to look. All right, so I'm going with the second throw, which I believe I got more distance, simply because I didn't mess it up as badly as the other one, but I did a partial grip lock somehow, either through rounding or I didn't let it go, because your arm does this, carries through. Anyways, learning experience, I'll look at it in the video. Let's again try these two overstable putters and try not to hit that tree. Line my feet up properly. That is exactly how I drew it up. Let's see if I can come close with the pig. I actually tried going higher to see if I could put it in. That was 1 foot shy of the basket. That was on line. Well, this is pretty cool. Even my aggressive bid is like, what is that, 12 feet? I should have walked over to the AX3. I'm trying to economize my movements. And this is maybe 8. So even the aggressive bid was a good choice because that was an easy putt. All right, bringing out the Leopards again. There is a headwind. a light headwind right now, so this will probably flip easier. So I'm going to go with slight hyzer on this, maybe a slighter hyzer than that, and aim that way. So that was about as good as I can expect. Let me see, I may have to try to raise this by a percentage. I mean, this is sports, you can't really do that. I can't really do that, but that's my goal, is to slider hyzer. Oh man, I think I grip locked that a little bit. Like, I think I must have done that. We will see. All right, so there's two things that I want to note. First of all, this leopard may not have actually come out a late release. A lot of times when you round, you don't actually release late. It's just the disc is coming at more of a angle like that rather than an angle like that. And so what happens is the disc naturally wants to come out that way, even though it's released at the right angle. I found that out watching one of my last throwing training videos. Anyways, sorry to go on about that, but that's what I do in these videos. We're gonna move all that out of the way, and I'm gonna again try for a couple putts with my AVR and Animal respectively. Gonna move this out, still within the 8.5 by 11. I'm gonna see what we can do. Let's just do one putter in the hand. Let's see if I can do better with that. That was a tiny bit too much. It's still within 10 feet, but maybe not quite as much juice. And this is an Animal. It'll fight extra juice. Not quite enough juice. So, okay, should have had a Goldilocks putt. And do you know what I'm having now? I'm having fun. I haven't had as much fun as I would have liked in the month of December, but since I started learning how to throw again from the ground up, it's just been so much more entertaining throwing. Even if I come out with a bad throw, it's much more fun. All right, so given the distance, there's no way I can get a par on this hole, probably no matter how many throws I make, at least off the tee, because you know my distance. I can at least give these a good try. Now right now there's a pretty decent tailwind from this point here. It's actually kind of blowing that way. So I'm gonna throw my relatively understable discs. And I'm gonna actually aim them out that way because I can't afford to have them go in this field that I can't get in because it's locked up. So I'm going to play a little safe, and I'm gonna throw from here, and I'm gonna aim sort of that way. There we go. That's probably just a little more than 200 feet, maybe 210. Now I'm gonna do the same here. That was not a good release. I can't tell you what's wrong, but it felt like I almost air bounced it like I did that number. That felt weird. All right, so whatever happened, these are the same distance away from the tee pad and from the basket, but this is more in line, so I'd rather go with this. Plus the way the trees are oriented, there's slightly more of an obstruction path coming in from that way. So since I'm about halfway, I'm just gonna use the same two discs, and we're gonna see if I can do any corrections. Let's do a staggered stance. I don't know if that's gonna show up on the camera. Elbow up, 90-90. I don't know what I did there. That said, that is pretty decent. That's somewhat close to the basket. I don't have the mind-muscle connection I think I should in this sport, so I've got to keep working on that. Okay, staggered. Box drill. Yeah, that just about 80-90% from being there. All right, that deal was back, so I'm going to fight my urge to hurry and give this two good bids. I tickled the chains. There we go, that's what I wanted. You know, that was not actually a bad putt. That was a 40-footer. With that said, All right, so we're playing right next to a freeway, and the way this is angled, I can't quite show you behind me and let you see my flight path. So I'm going to throw these same two discs and let them hopefully hyzer around. Actually, I'm going to throw more stable discs, but hopefully low and flat. Stance, grip, line, rip. That looks like it's close to the basket. Let's do that again. So stance, even though this is a weird stance, it's uneven. Grip, line, rip. That came out a little too high. That first one was good though. So if I think what I did there mentally was I focused a lot on that first throw, and then when I got the second one, I was like, okay, I'll just do that again, and then threw. And I think that's why the results were different. I think I didn't properly think through as much what I did with that second throw. I'm having a blast at Milby Park, but right after I throw on the next hole, hole 11, Sean calls. So I wait for him to show up to play the rest of the course. I hope that you like this best throw solo video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, as Sean and I play the back half of this course in a two-person scramble. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.